Welcome to Yeshiva Daf, Shir Spanzol, Nishmas, Amek, Shalom, Basitzchok. We're holding Basra Daf for base. This is the second Daf that was learned on Rosh Hashanah. Second day of Rosh Hashanah. So like the Mishnah, tonight, now also, we learned over there. Amoitze meis mushka lekedarkoi. You find a mace who is laying down normally. The Rashbam comes to say, if we'll see in a moment the Rashbam, if he's not laying down normally, there's reason to say that he wasn't a regular kvur, a regular burial. You take the mace and you take also a little bit of earth around it. It's called the rock of shel mace. It's the spoilage of the mace that goes with the mace. Meaning you can move him from place to place. That's the thing. You can move the mace from place to place. If you look at the Rashbam, the last Rashbam, the Amud, he brings you a little bit of a summary of what we're learning in Maseches Nazir. Mace mushkav kedarkoi. The din is noitul ve'etz fusos. You take him with it fuso. Says the Rashbam, one of the taharos over there, if on the mace you can move the mace. Should the mace is not koyin as mokrim, calls not the law of shloish if you don't have three macing together. The there's not a place of burial. There's no time, so they buried him over there. Because he's dead and not killed. And laying down normally. Then you take also the earth around him. Take that earth. You dig 3 more tefachim. It's part of the spoilage of the mess. And you learn from a pasuk. Told me, take with me from Mitzrayim. Call me Karka Mitzrayim. If you find that killed, you saw him cut into pieces, like cut him it's not cut even the tfuso. You can say maybe he died, he wasn't buried over there. He's not laying down normally. You say maybe he's a goy. If it's a goy, even if it's a bispars, you don't take it. And so that's what he's called, it says over here. Okay, so let's go back into the Gemara. So you find the mace, mushka gedarkor, nois with tfusos, you move with this tfuso. Shnayim, noit with tfusosim, 2, you move it also with the tfuso. Said the one that kubes without on top. Matzah shlosh, you found 3. Im yesh b'nei me'arba ad shmoine, if it's within 4 to 8 ames, harei shchunas kvaros, that is a burial place. That is a shchuna, a neighborhood kvaros. Oboidik mimenu v'lahalon esriyam, I go check for 20 ames. So before we go into the cheshbon, right away we have a problem over here, because we learned in the Mishnah 2 Tanoim. One Mandomer held that the size of a me'ara squirrel is 4 by 6. The other one learned it's 6 by 8. So what are we saying here? 4 by 8. So the Rashbam learns that this Mandomer argues, and he holds that the me'ara, the cave, is 4 by 8. In addition, he holds something else. He also holds that you bury macing more close to each other. We learned in the Mishnah, the way the Rashbam said in the Mishnah, is you have a half an amma around every crypt. You have a crypt, you have a half amma all around. So we have an amma between 2 crypts. This one holds you have only a tefach around every crypt. So you have 2 tefachim between every crypt. So you may have much more space to put kvarim. That's what the Mishnah says. If they have between them 4 ammas, so you have over here 3 kvarim within 4 ammas. How can you put 3 into 4? Only 2 tefachim in between. Tais argues in the Rashbam and says, no, we do talk about you do have an am in between. But we talk about, he's not talking about he found the 3 mason on one side. He found the 3 mason, 2 on one side, 1 in the other corner. So the Tais splits. But Rashbam learns they're all on the same side. So which side are they? They're either on the width of the marrow or the length of the marrow. So we check. If it's 4 amas, that's the width. If it's 8 amas, it's the length. If it's the 4, you check 20 ammo. Why 20 ammo? Because the length of the marrow is 8. Then you have 6 ammo of the chotzer, as we learned in the Mishnah. And then you have another 8. 8 plus 8 plus 6 is 22. So the world's going to ask why you say 20 should be 22. You checked another 20 ammo, you found the mace. But you check another 20 ammo, maybe there's another base course 20 ammo ahead. There is regulating that there's something here. If you found him alone without 3, no, that's what Rashbam learns. That means I just take the base with the tfuso. The reason I'm taking more is because I found 3. All my Mara said more Mara, but Shloim man. Irabon Midal Dal Mesal Sheish. That the Mor's asked, what we mentioned before. It's 4 by 6. If Shimon All my Sheish Al Shloim. Loilam of Shimoni, Vaitanu. So according to Rashban, this is the third Tana that holds 4 by 8. The Tanya Mitzon Ritzufim Bein Beinei Midal Dal Mesal Ches. So you found them together and they don't have a space between them 4 to 8. Yesh Len Tfuso Vein L'Shuz Kfars. Why? If they're so close, they don't have 4 amas in between, which means they don't even have 2 tefach in between. That means is what we know, Nebech Kever Achim. They stick them all in one place. It's not a base first, and then we can remove them. Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda, Rabbi Shimon, he says name Rabbi Shimon. We even said same kilo. We take away the middle ones. Vashar mitztarfim midal ames v'adches. Says no, you do count. You do that 4 to 8. Why? Because you assume that there's are macy that were buried there normally. And the ones in the middle, they're the ones that have to be removed. Not the entire thing is a kever achim. Only the ones, you assume that the macy that are there, that some of them are permanent and some of them were just temporary. The Rashban said before that okay, let's just see first a little more ahead. How do we explain it? K'Rab Shimon. And look at the next part. Boy, to give it alone, and it's 3 amas, 20 amas. Mani, Rab Shimon is if it's Rab Shimon, it should be 8 plus 6 plus 8. It's 22. Irabon Tamas Rav, according to Rabban, should be 18 because it's 6 plus 6 plus 6. So what does it mean over here, 20? There says the Gemara, you check on an angle. Says the Gemara, now, what's the angle going to work? Maybe before we get to that. Let's just finish the question and answer. If that's an angle, that's also an angle. Meaning the first bar I'm doing an angle, so next one should be an angle as well. It should be 8 plus 6 plus 8. I say one diagonal, not 2. Like more says. So therefore I have to do, we're doing a one diagonal, one straight, another one straight. That's how I get to 20 according to Rabban. The Rashban mentions that we also do, I don't know if I'm on the length or on the width. I found 3 mason with 4 amas. It could be that's the width of the mirror. It could be it's the length of the mirror. If it's the length of the mirror, I just check 4 amas across to see if there's any mason over there. If it's the width, then I have to do 20 amas to go ahead and do the cheshbon. The more it says diagonal. Why is diagonal 8 amas? So Rashbam says something which is very strange. If you look at base on base, Rashbam says, starting in the 3rd line on the top, Alachson shel dal amas avov ariches amo. 4 by 6 amo, the diagonal is 8. How do we know that? Ketzat vav avov ariches amos v'schushi. We know that every diagonal is 1 2/5. So when I have 6 by 6, I say 1 2/5, 2/5 of the 6. So 6, it's basically 2/5 times 6 is 12/5. 12/5 is 2 2/5. So add 2 2/5 to 6 is 8 2/5. So hey, when it's 5 by 5, I will have the Lachson is an extra 2 amas. At 5 by 5, what is the Lachson of 5 by 5? So it's 2 times 5 chumshi, which is 2. So 2 plus 5 is 7. Also, when it's 4 by 6, it's the same thing. What's the difference between 5 and 5 or 4 and 6? 5 and 5, 4 and 6, the same thing. 5 and 5, you reduce 1, add 1. So when you have 5 and 5, how much you add above it? 2 amas for the diagonal. So 4 by 6, you also add 2 amas on the diagonal. So the first thing is very strange in the Rashbam, he compares the two. We'll see in a moment in the places. But the bigger issue is, you're adding 2 amas to the length. Who said that? 5 by 5, I make it 7. Why? Because I add 2 amas to the sides. You add 4 by 6. I add 2 amas to what? To the 6. So that's why it's 8 amas. Says the Rashbam, the angle is 8 amas. What doesn't make so much sense? Taisus here proves the Chor against it, the Rashbam. Look at the Taisus in Mudalef. Taisus says, when I have 4 by 6, let's cut the last 2. What do I have? 4 by 4. 4 by 4, what's the diagonal of 4 by 4? So he does a cheshbon. It's 5 amas and 3 chumshi. Now add 2 more amas, because you have 2 more amas there. Just add 2 more amas. How much that will be? 7 and 3 chumshi. That's if I took a straight line. But I'm not doing a straight line. I'm doing a diagonal, continuing on these 2 amas. If you look at the text, it's very clear. 4 by 4, diagonal is 5 and 3 chumshi. 4 by 6, the diagonal will be a little more, but not even if you had 2 amas, it could be 7 and 3 chushim. It won't be 8 amas. So a question of the Rashbam that says the diagonal of 4 by 8 is that the diagonal, the 4 by 6 over here is 8 amas. It's not 8 amas, it's a little less. Some Rishonim want to say maybe the 8 amas is to go into the corners to check for the macy. So the one in the base on base, it is Shimon, that it's 8 amas length. So why are you doing only 20? It should be 8 plus 6 plus 8. We talk about the one of the Mara says Nifli is for miscarriages, babies, so the Mara is small. But if it's Nifli, it's supposed to be, so both the Maras are Nifli. So the Mara, and then for time is 3 amas, should be 18. You say 1 benifli, not 2. You say only 6, not. So you say it's 6 plus 6 plus 8. Little problem here, just in the Cheshbon, just to mention that in the Mishnah we learned that the nifli has only half an amma for the kuchen. And here we said that we have for every me'ara 2, maybe 4 of nifli. Here we have a full me'ara of nifli, and for some reason it's also smaller. Okay, the Cheshbonis of the measurements will have to be discussed. So what do we learn? We learn we have many macy together. But what did it say? That you put in, the whole thing is a mess, you take everything out. Shimon says, no, I assume that some mason were buried there originally, and whatever's in between I remove. So we find a steer of Shimon. What do we learn? We learned it earlier. Kerem and 12 pochas ma'arba amis. You have a kerem which is planted less than 4 amis, and that's not a vineyard. A vineyard has to have 4 amis around the trees to have room to plow it. Sure, no kerem. It's not a vineyard at all. The cholim raise the kerem. It is a vineyard. For him to say, I ignore the middle ones, and I say the trees on the side, they're the ones in the middle will be removed. Kasha there, kasha Shimon there, Shimon. So it's a stira. Do I say that whatever is there, and only the middle ones are removed, or the whole thing is out? So what they have Shimon kasha. Not a question of Shimon. Planting. Why should you plant trees if you have to uproot it? You plant a vineyard, it's supposed to be. If I plant too much, that means this is not a vineyard. This is just there for temporary, I'm going to remove the whole thing. To plant in order to remove, I don't do. So he says, guys, look at the Rashban, not the make a bit of time. You can Lashim carry not to akol. The Kibben lo to Kilchos, Lichashker. According to Rashban, Pshat is this guy doesn't know how to plant a vineyard. He made a mistake. So the whole thing is not a vineyard. Here, it does sometimes, it's been a shvashas, they don't have time. They have a mace, they put him there with his kvaras anyway. So the kvaras are good kvaras. The kvarim that are there. The one in between, they had no choice, they put him in there. One is also not a question. There it's an evil, it's a zilzul the mace, to stick so many mace in one place. You don't do that. If it happened, that means the whole thing was not his kvaras. That's what it means. The Rashbam says over here, Adai Talipo, the Rashbam. Look at that Rashbam. Rashbam says, Lachzol Beretz Misham, Kilkat Ligam Nikru Yisham, Kolmal De Atchak Be'akoi Be'al. Kan Deizem Ekoim L'chashvim L'shchus Kvaras. So in other words, to go and bury there temporarily, I don't do that. This just was oinus. The whole thing here doesn't make any sense. Also, Mimra Ma'hai Ma'nayu the Shofir Shofir. There's a no. Maybe a person did go and plant a vineyard, decide to plant a vineyard, and he said, you know what, I'm going to plant extra trees, and then I'll decide which trees I'm keeping, which trees I'm taking for use for wood. The good trees I'll keep. The trees that I want for wood, I'll take out. So he did plant a diet, and he did it right away for the vineyard. So we have svaras lekam lechan. When do I say that the middle one is out? And the Gemara says over here, this is really the machlekes of Rabbanim Shimon. They have svaras afuchas. Rabbanan is the one who says that by trees, I'm planting there to keep it, but by macing, no, macing doesn't happen. I'm sure this is the opposite of macing. Sometimes it happens. I'm not going to work hard to plant trees if it's not done in the right way, unless I don't know what I'm doing according to the pshat of the Rashbam. With this, we conclude the 6th parak of Meseches Bava Basra.